Good evening, good people. Welcome to tonight's mass call. I see you've already started doing this on YouTube, and I'm sure you all are doing this on the Facebook chat. I want you to go down in the comment section, in the chat section, and I want you to tell me your name. I want you to tell me where you're calling in from. If you represent an organization or throw down with a crew, feel free to shout them out as well. We are so glad that you are here. I want to thank and congratulate you for continuing to not regard it robbery to join our mass call and choosing to take action instead of just sitting to the side. I am Ashley Woodard Henderson. I am throwing down with Working Families Power, and I am honored to be your host tonight. April 5th was a powerful and historic moment. You all felt it, and you're going to hear more about it. But y'all know that we've got way more work ahead of us if we intend to beat back Trump and Musk and Republicans in Congress. Y'all have started to put the pressure on them, and it is time to continue to keep that pressure on them. Authoritarians like Donald Trump want us to feel alone. They want you to feel isolated. They want you to feel like you don't have the ability to change things, like you have no power. But Hands Off showed that not only are we not alone, we're in this together, and there are millions of us in every single hood and holler across this country who know that what this administration is doing is unjust, is immoral, and is certainly not normal. We have a powerful lineup of speakers coming to you tonight, leaders that I trust that will share incredibly important information with you, help us make meaning of the moment, and give us our calls to action about what we can do to build on April 5th. Anybody been in community with folks that are like, yeah, like, okay, you had millions of people in the streets, but then what? Well, tonight is where we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we are going to grow our pro-democracy movement. But before we start, I want to go ahead and give you the first call to action. I want you to get your cell phone out. I want you to open up your messaging app, and I want you to text the word hands off, all one word, HANDSOFF, hands off, to 70303. Again, I want you to text hands off to 70303 because that's how you're going to get updates on actions and ways to continue to stay involved. So again, I want you to text hands off to 70303. I also want you to share this live stream with your buddies, your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers, your comrades, your neighbors, the folks in your faith communities, the folks that you club it up with. This is an opportunity to get even more of our people involved. We've already got over 8,000 people on the YouTube live stream. I can't even see what y'all are doing over on Facebook, but I'm sure you're showing up and showing out. I want you to encourage your buddies. Think about 3 to 5 other people that you can ask right now. Go to the group chat, go to your family or your friends' group chat, and tell them that you want them to text hands off to 70303. Now, before we jump to program, let's be clear, like when we're fighting for justice and liberation for all people, there's always going to be some haters, especially in this work that we're trying to do together. The more visible our work is and the more we are outwardly talking about our commitments to making sure that all of us are free, the more they might come after us. And it is certainly upsetting, but we wouldn't be surprised if there are some trolls that show up in the chats tonight. If you see any of those hateful messages in the Zoom chat, I want you to not be distracted by it. I want you to focus on the incredible sharings that our leaders are going to be sharing with us tonight. And I also want you to flood the messages with solidarity. I want you to go in the chat. I want you to quote our speakers. I want you to send love and messages of positivity to one another. We remember that in this sacred space that we're building together, we can disagree without disrespecting each other. And that's how we're going to behave tonight. We also know that many of us are coming together across our many differences, whether those differences are geographical, whether those differences are ideological. Also, like we might be arriving with lots of different feelings. Some of us might be totally inspired and on a high after April 5th. Others of us might be remembering all of the terribly harmful things that this administration and their lackeys have been doing that harm our communities, that are causing our people to suffer. There is space in this space for all of that, for all of those feelings. We can continue to come together across those differences to celebrate the powerful and inspirational work that we did together on April 5th, and be grounded together in making meaning of really difficult moments that are impacting our people. We can be called to action again because we know that none of us are free until all of us are free. So I'm going to invite you to keep breathing on this call, to keep being grounded on this call, throughout this call, as we ride the waves of celebration and discontent. And I'm going to remind myself and all of us that this call is an invitation to continue meaningfully contributing to bending the moral arc of the universe toward justice. If you're down with being one in the great crew of believers, our community that believes that ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. If you're gonna bend the moral arc of the universe toward justice with me, I just want you to say I'm down in the chat so I know I'm in the right place. If you are about the business of seeing our people free, blocking these MAGA forces, and building the sort of healthy, sustainable, and equitable communities that we all deserve, I need you to let me know in the chat. Let me know I'm ready. I see Chicago is fired up and ready to go in the chat. I see you. I see folks saying that we are united. I see Columbia, Tennessee in the chat. I see Tucson, Arizona in the chat. Folks saying we've got power in numbers. We are going to seek justice, love mercy, walk humbly amongst our people. We are in the right place, comrades. I'm glad to see you here. Without further ado, I want to bring up one of the amazing leaders that helped make this all possible. I want to introduce to some and bring back for others Rana Epting, the incredible executive director of Move On, who's going to talk a little bit more about what we just accomplished on April 5th. Rana, I'll kick it to you.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you, everybody. Good evening. Earlier this week I was asked, Rana, could you join this call we're going to have with folks that join the Hands Off protest this Wednesday and talk about your reflections on that amazing Saturday action? And my response was, hell yes, I would be happy to, because that day really meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to you, and it's just the beginning. So first of all, it is an honor to be here with all of you this evening. You and the work we all did together on April 5th, that instilled much needed solidarity, hope, and promise into a country and a world that, to be quite honest, was feeling a bit hopeless. Um, Look, it's rough out there. I feel it every day. Every day there's a new existential threat from Trump, and he seeks to consolidate power and money for himself and his cronies at the expense of the rest of us. And it's, you know, my partner often says the phrase, all for them, none for you. And that's really what they're all about. I don't think that could be put in any better terms. But as they attempt to flood the zone with cuts to our critical services, with attacks on our rights, with threats to our freedoms, and everything that we stand for, the one thing they did not anticipate is that we would flood the zone right back. And that's what we're doing. So when Trump handed the keys to the federal government, when he handed those keys over to Elon Musk and his Doge boys, and they started rifling through our private data and playing house with critical services that keep this country running, we put out the call for people to join together on the steps of the US Treasury. This was just a few weeks after Donald Trump took office. And we proclaimed that nobody elected Elon. That was the first moment where you started to see people taking action, standing together. Thousands of people showed up. We put out the call 24 hours ahead of time. Thousands of people showed up on the steps of the US Treasury. Dozens of lawmakers. The crack in the dam ignited a record number of calls into Congress, a flood of constituents showing up at the congressional members' town halls, and over 3.5 million people showing up on April 5th. So the energy is there. You are not alone. We are not alone. What we have begun to build is powerful. There are millions with us and counting. We'll actually have some photos from the Fed that will show up here. As Trump continues to chaotically and carelessly implement his wildly unpopular agenda, I might say, he creates more distrust, more outrage, and backlash against it. And that is where we come in. The April 5th Day of Action proves my point. It blew the doors off every metric we had in place. I want you all to celebrate that. You were part of that. Ash introduced me as a leader, but quite honestly, that is very kind. But humbly, I want to just posit like I had very little to do with it. The people that decided to host these actions in their cities, the people who decided to have poster creating parties beforehand and bring out their family members and their friends, the folks that decided to get up early in the morning and get out there even though the weather was horrible. It's all of us together that made this happen. So we offered the infrastructure for the people that were already out there that wanted to take action together, and more than 1,300 events. I actually think that might be a low count at the end of the day. Every state, events across the globe in other countries, folks. More than 3.5 million people, not just in big cities. This isn't just a New York, LA thing, DC thing, but in rural towns, in red states, and all points in between. Let me give you some examples. In Chicago, we had 100,000 people showed up after only 6,000 RSVP'd. 100,000 people in Chicago. In New York City, the march stretched 20 blocks from the beginning to the end of the route. People had said they'd never seen anything like that in New York City in their life. In Manchester, Michigan, 44 people RSVP'd, but guess how many showed up? 1,000 people showed up. Ashland, Wisconsin, a small community with a population of less than 8,000 folks, and thousands of people showed up to protest. This is in Republican Tom Tiffany's seat, where he won by 27 points in 2024. In Joliet, Illinois, the event was canceled because of weather. But you know what? 500 people showed up anyway. 1,500 folks showed up in the villages in Florida. The villages in Florida, folks. 1,500 people. And in DC, the event that I had the honor of being at, we expected 20,000 people to come out, but there was estimates over 100,000 people actually showed up. These numbers are staggering. It was the largest national day of protests in the history of our lifetimes, and it could not have happened without all of you, so thank you. And so the question I get asked a lot is like, okay, so people showed up in protests. What did it do? What's the impact? It might have made you feel better, but actually, there's a lot of impact that a day like April 5th can make. Number one, protest actually sends a concerted and powerful message to lawmakers in this country. The message we sent on April 5th was hands off critical services like Medicaid, Social Security, veterans benefits, education, hands off our rights, hands off our freedom of speech, hands off our due process, hands off our bodies. We are the nonviolent, pro-American, pro-democracy majority in this country. We dominated the media coverage that weekend, and those images were blasted around the world on your phones, on TV, in print, you name it. So we sent a concerted and powerful message. Protests can also dispel the myth that Donald Trump has a mandate. If he had a mandate, y'all, why were 3.5 million people out on the streets on April 5th? He does not have a mandate. He won the presidency by a historically slim margin. He didn't even win a majority of the vote. Look, there are millions out there who are protesting, who are saying, we're not here for this. This is not okay, not on our watch. You have no mandate. That is critically important because he is trying to assert otherwise. 3, acts of courage inspire other acts of courage. It is hard to stand up to bullies when you're doing it alone, but it is way much easier to do it when we're together. We are stronger in numbers. We need each other. We showed everyone out there. There's more. There are tons of us out there. Join us. So protests like April 5th bolster the resolve also of other pillars of power in our society to discourage them from capitulating to Trump's bullying tactics. Just look at Harvard University. Just the other day, was this yesterday or the day before? Yesterday, I think. They took a courageous stand, setting the standard for other academic institutions to stand up for freedom of thought in this country and stand up to bullies. And then MIT followed suit. There will be other universities that are coming out soon. This helps prevent and or slow down the consolidation of power that autocrats like Trump are desperate to achieve. And fourth, actions like April 5th help build a winning coalition for the future. If we can effectively welcome people into our tent with open arms, no matter your history, if you want to come along with us, we got you. We want to build a broader coalition. We will be on stronger footing as we build towards the future, the more people we welcome in. So that's my spiel on why April 5th matters. I want to celebrate all of you. It was an incredible, incredible day. And I'll just say one last thing about this whole paid protester BS that the right is trying to circulate around online. I really hope they think, I really hope that the right wing believes their own spin on this, because let me tell you, if they do, they're in for a rude awakening at the ballot box. The anger out there is real. The protests are real. The people are real. They are not paid. They are out there because that is what their heart is calling them to do. Our silence is what they want. Our fear is what they thrive in. And together, we are going to beat that back. So I'll hand it back to you, Ash, and I just thank you, everybody, for everything that you've put into this.
Give it up one time for Rana and the Move On team. Thank y'all for being here with us tonight. Y'all, before I call up our next speaker, I want to remind you that there are things you can do right now. There are things you can do right now. I want you to remember Congress is currently on recess until April 27th. It is April 16th tonight. So we still have time to actually talk to most of these members in their districts. They are at home. This is an opportunity for us to make our voices heard as their constituents. So I want to remind you, find out what they're doing at home. Check out their offices at home. See if there are town halls. There's stuff that you can be doing right now. And we certainly know that a big day for mobilization is coming on Mayday, May 1st, where working people from all over the country are going to come together to demand a country that puts our people and our families before the fortunes of a handful of billionaire bros. Now is our time. So I want you to go ahead and put Mayday on the calendar because y'all, we're going to want you there. I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you that there's also going to be actions all along the way to May 1st. In fact, some of my buddies have been saying April is the new May, right? Because so many people are mobilizing this month, including our friends at 5051. I know some of y'all are in the chat. I'm surprised I haven't seen more 5051s in the chat. If you've thrown down in a 5051 protest or mobilization, I want you to tell me in the chat. Now I'm seeing folks being like, what about April 19th? Well, friends, you're beating me to it. There are going to be more actions all along the way to May 1st, including a mobilization on April 19th that's being organized by our friends at 5051. Today, we're going to be focusing on Mayday and congressional races, on the congressional recess because of the work that these particular organizations are doing. But we know folks are going to mobilize. We know educators are mobilizing. We know lots of folks are mobilizing. So April 19th, you should definitely put on the calendar. And then May 1st should absolutely be something that we build towards and we show up and we show out in defense of our communities and our people. Before we talk more about the details of those events, I am honored to invite Catherine Ann Paul Jackson, the public policy director at CASA, to speak on the abduction of Maryland father Kilmar Abrigo Garcia. And I want you to listen in for what we can be doing to help reunite Kilmar with his family. Catherine, I'll toss it to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here. My name is Catherine Jackson. I'm our policy director at CASA. It means so much to be in community with so many people who are so committed and who care so deeply about justice. I know we have so much to get to tonight. I want to get straight to it. A member of our CASA family has been wrongfully deported. I am here to talk to you all, to call on you all to help us fight to bring Kilmar Abrigo Garcia home. I want to refresh for you all, for those who don't know his story very well. On March 12th, Kilmar was driving his 5-year-old son when ICE agents pulled him over, sat him on the curb, and ripped him away from his family. With no legal authority, I repeat, with no legal authority. In fact, there was a standing court order protecting him, very specifically protecting him from being deported to El Salvador. A judge had already ruled that sending him back was a death sentence. And then 3 days later, he was deported. He was flown out of the US like he was invisible, he was disposable. ICE abducted him, and they called it an administrative error. This was not an accident. It wasn't an error. This is what the Trump administration has been doing, disappearing people. So now Kilmar is locked up at one of the most notorious prisons in El Salvador. And I wanted to lift him up. Well, let me first say, who is Kilmar Garcia, right? He is a father. He is a husband. He is a very proud union worker, by the way. Smart Local 100. Shout out to them. He is a CASA member. He is a man who fled gang violence as a teenager, who built a life, who built a family, who built a future right here in Maryland. Him and his wife are raising 3 beautiful kids. 2 of them are on the autism spectrum. Their daughter has epilepsy. They need their dad. The kids need their dad, period. The youngest boy, who is nonverbal, needs his physical connection with his dad. His daughter still is texting messages on her tablet every night about how much she misses him. Jennifer quit her job to take care of the kids full time. She's holding the whole house together, her whole life together with her faith, her love. I mean, this family is suffering. And what are we going to do about it? The courts have been so clear. A federal judge said that this government has done nothing at all to comply with the law. The Supreme Court has ordered the government to facilitate Kilmar's return, and still, Kilmar has not been returned home. It is unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. And this is so much bigger than Kilmar, right? People, like I said, people are being disappeared left and right. This is about human dignity. If the government can disappear one man who has a court order protecting him, vanish a father without a hearing, without due process, without a chance to speak, it can happen to any one of us. Any one of us. It does not matter your immigration status. So, what are we doing? So many of you, I want to thank you, because the work that has been done thus far to lift up Kilmar and his family, to rally, to make calls, and to get folks on a plane to El Salvador to go and bring him back home have been so powerful and so effective. I want to thank you for that. We still have more work to do. Ashley already mentioned Mayday, March 1st. We need you with us out in the streets. Jennifer, the Garcia family, they're going to be there. They're going to be marching with us. They will be there, and there's going to be so many. You're going to hear all about Mayday in just a little bit. They're going to be with us in the DC actions. So if you want to be there, if you want to be in solidarity with the families, join us in DC. Casa, the Garcia family, will be there. We need you to reach out to your legislators. We need you to demand that they use every ounce of power that they have. And a lot of folks are saying, we're waiting on the courts. We're waiting on the courts. We can't control the administration. We need every member of Congress calling out publicly what is happening to this man, right? And his family and all of us. Not only calling out aloud, but physically. We want to see them putting their bodies on the line. Show up. Go to the airport. Stand in front of a plane, the deportation plane. Say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. Immediately, in the immediate, and I'm going to see you guys in the streets in DC and on all the Mayday actions, But immediately I need you to fill out the petition in the chat. Okay. So go into the chat, fill out that petition right now. Once you do that, you'll get some more information about how you can stay locked in, what you can do. For those who are in Maryland, we're now waiting. We're going through a process called discovery right now. We're waiting for that process to wrap up before we have our next court hearing. Once that happens, we're going to call you all. We're going to make sure that we pack the courthouse, that we have a big, strong showing of support outside of the next hearing. So keep an eye out for that. And guys, let's bring Kilmar back home. I'm grateful to you all, and I'm glad to be in solidarity. Much love to everybody, and let's continue fighting.
Catherine, we're sending love to you, to Jennifer and the fam, to Kilmar, to the whole entire CASA community. Thank you so much for being on here tonight. Friends, I want to remind you there are things you can do right now. So, for all of the righteous rage that I saw in the chat, for all the love and desire to care for this family and this community, and the literal thousands like them who have seen their people disappeared without due process, right? I mean, and also to hell with due process. Our people should be able to migrate freely, period, right? Period, 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 period. So I want you to take all that desire to care. I want you to take all of that righteous rage. I want you to sign and share that petition right now. I want you to take it. I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to wait till tomorrow, till 10, 20, 100 more people have been disappeared from their communities, ripped apart from their neighbors, taken away from their faith spaces, taken away from their family and their friends, taken away from some relative safety and security while also being oppressed and extracted from in this very here country. I want you to right now get that petition, and I want you to sign it, and I want you to share it. The second thing I want you to do is remember this call to action around Mayday. Now, the first thing I want to do is praise you, because before you even let me get the call to action out, you had already dedicated yourselves to hosting 115 Mayday actions already. You already did that. It was 100 before I got on the call. Now it's 115. I want to see if we can get to 50 more before the end of the night. So last time we did this, y'all blew my expectations out of the water. And I want to see if you can do it again. I have faith in you to do it. So I want you to go to maydaystrong.org, maydaystrong.org. Somebody drop that in the chat for me, maydaystrong.org. And I want to see if we can get to 50 more events posted on that website before we close the call tonight. Beat my expectations, friends. Sign up to host, sign up to attend, share it out on your social media. I know we got some Blue Sky fam here. I see y'all. Y'all make sure to put it out. See if we can get us to 50 more events before we close the call tonight. So sign the petition from CASA. Let's see if we can get 50 more events on this map for maydaystrong.org. Let's show up and show out in solidarity with workers and with our immigrant justice family. Next, I get to introduce a brilliant colleague in this movement work, Danny Negretti, the National Policy Director at Indivisible. I know Indivisible's on the line because y'all already been lit in the chat. Give it up for the Indivisible team as Danny comes and is going to talk to us a little bit about the congressional recess actions. Come on, Danny.
Thank you so much, Ash, and thank you, Catherine. Thank you, everyone who is on this call right now. I am so happy and honored to be on with you tonight. This is an incredible space to be in. I have to say, my name is Danny Negretti. I am the National Political Director with Indivisible. Thank you for having me on. Hands Off was such a labor of love for so many people. And that was only possible because of you all who showed up, who hosted events, who marched, rallied, protested, and organized to make history on that day. And a key message in Hands Off was that we have the power and we also have a demand. Hands off our services, hands off our rights, and hands off our communities that we hold dear. There were multiple audiences for those demands. But one obvious one is our lawmakers in Congress. We need our elected leaders right now more than ever to understand the seriousness of this moment and the size of this movement. And in order to take April 5th from a flashpoint into an inflection point, we need to continue our actions and energy consistently. And in the immediate term, what that means is looking ahead to the period of action we're in right now, actually, and that's congressional recess. You've heard Ash reference this a couple of times now. Recess is already started. It started earlier this week, and it goes through the end of next week, April 27th. Now, at Indivisible, we want to make something really clear. Recess is not a vacation for members of Congress. It is a critical part of their legislative calendar when members of Congress need to return home to their districts and meet with constituents. They have a job to do during this period. Now, some members like to use this time to meet with lobbyists or with donors and hoping that they can avoid their constituents as best as possible, or that their constituents just stay silent during this 2-week period. But all of them need to hear from us, and we need to remind them that we expect them to use this time to fight back. Now, why is that? It's because Republicans in Congress right now are selling us out. They are selling us out to help billionaires like Elon Musk get even richer. They're using budget reconciliation, which is a pretty wonky process that will allow them to pass legislation with only Republican votes. That means ramming through their tax scam, and that means over $1.5 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, nutrition assistance programs like SNAP, and other vital programs. Millions of Americans will lose their health insurance. Children will need to go without meals in schools, and working families will face higher costs for housing, for healthcare, for groceries, for everything. This also means massive handouts for billionaires. This Republican budget scam gives trillions of dollars in tax cuts to the ultra wealthy and big corporations. Now, the bottom line here is that Republicans want to fleece the American people so billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos can buy another private jet or luxury yacht, but they know their plan is unpopular. While all of this unfolds, Republicans in Congress are continuing to enable Trump and Musk's power grab. They think that they can get away with it because people won't fight back. Now, we showed them on April 5th that we are ready to show up, to show out, and to fight back. We need to keep up that energy, and that's where recess comes in. So what are our goals here? We want to make sure that we're getting Republicans on the record, that we're publicizing their plans, that we're exposing the harm of what they're trying to do, and we want to make it impossible for them to ignore their constituents. For Democrats, we want to encourage them to continue to condemn this billionaire takeover, to make sure that they are fighting back, and to make it clear that when they fight, we will have their backs. And for all of them, they need to be using their platform to call for the return of Kilmar Garcia and the end to these disappearances. This is an important moment, and this is an important issue to put in the center of this recess period. Now, this work is all about visibility. That means that the events and the actions in our communities need to be visible so that our members and our media cannot ignore them. That's the theory behind April 5th, hands off. We have to get so many people out there that we can't be ignored. It's the same theory here, but we're making sure that we're doing it with really clear targets, and that's our members of Congress. We are already out there making our voices heard. We have had dozens of events across the country already, both led by indivisible groups, our friends at Working Families Party, our friends at Move On, and other partner organizations across the country. And we're going to continue to build these events over the next week and a half to make sure that we are continuing to drive this message. And just yesterday, we also helped drive turnout to Social Security Day of Action events at more than 50 Social Security Administration offices across the country with our friends at Social Security Works and P Street. And we're going to be back again next Thursday, hitting as many Social Security field offices as possible because we know it is under threat and we know that that attack is active and it is coming still. So we are going to be out there for recess. We're going to be keeping this energy up. We're going to be keeping the fire in this movement and holding our demands high and clear. Hands off. Thank you very much. I'll throw it back to Ashley.
Y'all show some love in the chat for Danny. I've seen all the Indivisible fam shouting out the teams from the many, many locations that you all are based. And folks are bigging up your hair as per usual, comrade. Thank you for being here tonight. We love you. Y'all, for folks that are a little stressed out because the chat is moving fast and you maybe missed the petition link, it's all good. Folks are going to keep dropping it. We got some amazing chat volunteers and monitors that are throwing down both on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you missed it, it's cool. We appreciate you. We see you. We're going to make sure you get it. So don't stress out. We will drop it in the chat. Now, second piece about that link, I think so many of you went on all at once and you're getting an error. That means you crashed the website. Y'all went above and beyond the Call of Duty. And so many of you did it at the same time that I think we might have just crashed their website. So be patient. Keep reloading it, share it around, and over the course of time, I promise you will get your opportunity. So sending you love, thanking you for your obedience and your discipline and rigor at getting the petition shared and signed. We want you to keep doing that. And if you see the error, just keep reloading. Once we get the bandwidth up, we will be able to sign that petition. I also want to remind you that if you are going to hit the streets on April 19th, you could be talking about Kilmar as a part of your calls to action, your demands, right? You could be telling folks to take these actions that Catherine has shared with us, up to and including noncompliance and civil disobedience to protect and defend our communities. So I just want to remind you, if you are mobilizing on April 19th, this is something that you could be bringing to that action. Then I also asked you if you would so kindly make sure that you sign up to host a Mayday action. And I said I'd love to get 50 more on the books before the end of this evening. I told you that when we started the call, we were already at 115. We are currently at 126. So somebody listened to me. But what I know for sure is that there are over 10,000 people watching on YouTube. That's not even including our friends that are watching the Facebook stream. And there are plenty more of us that can stand up in our rise up in our rightful place to show up and show out on May 1st with workers and folks that are fighting for immigrant justice and racial justice and gender justice and all of the things to block these MAGA authoritarian Nazis and actually build the kind of social justice community, the beloved communities that we actually deserve. So I'm going to push you one more time. I'm going to ask you, well, I'm lying. It's not going to be one more time, but I'm going to ask you right now to actually go to maydaystrong.org. I'm going to ask you, I know it's scary to step up into your rightful place in this moment. I get it. But what's real is I want to know that I am setting myself to be a great ancestor right now, that I don't want to look back and know that I left anything up for option. I want to know that I stood in the legacy of great elders and ancestors who said by any means necessary means by all the means, and that I stepped up in my rightful place to be a part of history. You said at the top of the call that you were going to be one in the number to bend the moral arc of the universe toward justice, and I'm now asking you to prove it. I need you to sign up to host a Mayday action, to stand up with workers and immigrants and people of goodwill here, there, and everywhere, all over this country and abroad, to say enough is enough. This is not normal, and we will not sit silently while it happens. So I want you to go to maydaystrong.org, and I want you to sign up to host an event. I love y'all. I'm going to give you an update in a little bit. So now I get to introduce someone who's not only one of my leaders, but also one of my friends. I get to introduce you to Jesse Sharkey, the former president of the Chicago Teachers Union. Shout out to CTU, and who is currently the CTU coordinator of Mayday Actions, who's going to talk a little bit more about our Mayday National Day of Action. Jesse, I'll toss it to you.
Thank you, Ashley. And apologies for coming to you from my car here in the great city of Chicago. I'm outside of a community meeting, so I apologize for the poor picture. But I hope my message gets through loud and clear. May 1st is important. It's an important day for our movement, partly because there's a history to it. Traditionally, it was the day when we celebrated the coming of spring. We had endured the hardships of winter for another year, and we looked forward to better times. That's true for us right now in our country. It's going to be the 101st day after Trump came to office, and it's time for us to turn the page. He had us 100 days. It'll be time for us to start actively changing his rotten legacy. The second reason May Day is important is that it's a labor holiday. The modern history of May Day comes from 1886 in Chicago, when workers went on a general strike for the 8-hour day. and it's still a holiday that's extremely important in labor unions. And thirdly, it's a holiday that the immigrant rights movement has celebrated and lifted up. In 2006, we had immigrant rights demonstrations of over 1 million people in both Chicago and LA. And again, we right now with immigrants and migrants under a sharp attack in our country, it will be an important day to put a line in the sand that immigrants are welcome here, and in fact are part of our communities and make up a vital force in our society. So it's the coming of spring. It's a labor holiday. It's an immigrants holiday, and it will be the next chance for us to make a stand against Trump and the billionaire agenda, and to do something more as well, which is to show that Chicago Teachers Union is a local union. We don't have we're not a national union, and we have a network of other locals, and many of them are teachers unions. And what we've always said is that it's extremely important for labor to have common cause and make solidarity with people in the community, with people who depend on the public service, the same services that are being attacked and cut right now. And that, like, solidarity is the key to our strength, and it's the key to how we're going to make our movements successful. And that basic idea, which is that we have to remind the bosses, remind people in the political class, that without our strength and muscle, not a single wheel will turn in this society. There's an old labor song called "Solidarity Forever," and that's the punchline of the song, and that's the reason why Mayday is important. So Ash has been saying, please go on MaydayStrong.org and sign up for an event. If you did one for April 5th, that's fantastic. This is about trying not just to have events that put us on record of opposing what's going on in this country right now, but also about drawing deep connections that we're going to use for the future, for future struggles to come. So please sign up, make an event happen. And in Chicago, we had a convening in late March to talk about building for May 1st. And many people said that it was an amazing meeting because they were in the room with folks from local labor unions, from the teachers, from the service workers, from federal workers unions, who were sometimes meeting for the first time with people who live nearby, who were trying to get into a conversation about what we needed to do to try to change our society for the better. So that's really what we hope Mayday will accomplish. We want people to join us. MaydayStrong.org. Click the button to host an event. There's a bunch of resources there which should help you do that. And really, we're looking forward to reminding the world that we have a world to win, and that working class people and our communities and the people who we hold in solidarity, we really have the power to turn the page on Trump and his billionaire agenda. So that's really what I got, Ash. Thank you, and let me pass it back to you.
Love you, Jesse. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you to CTU for y'all's leadership. We are excited to be in the streets with y'all on May 1st, and y'all are going to go to MaydayStrong.org. And if you are like a lot of us, kind of newly politicized, trying to figure out, maybe you've never hosted an action before, maybe you're not sure about the different steps that you need to take to help mobilize a lot of people to come to it, it's all good. As Jesse offered, there's toolkits already on the website that will give you a play-by-play of what you need to do to get people working and mobilizing in your community. So I want to encourage you to step out on faith a little bit. Trust that the people will show if you have the leadership to fill the vacuum of the absence of an action where you are, right? Go to MaydayStrong.org, get that toolkit, sign up today to host an action. We are almost at 130 actions. See if we can get there before the end of the next speaker. I think we can. I think we could get to 50 before the end of this, but let's get to 30. Let's get to 130. See if we can give ourselves something to celebrate here tonight together, that our people are coming together to do something about it, not just to talk about it, not just to hear other people talk about it, which is a particular part of the work, but to actually be a part of gumming up the gears of this country until our people are treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve. I know I'm down for that. I also want to shout out that the House of Labor is in the building. Not only have I seen so much love for CTU, I see CWA in the building. Shout out to my initial labor training team. I love CWA. I see APWU. My mama was a postal worker. I see y'all in the building. We got AFSCME in the building. We see y'all. So if there are other folks in labor that want to shout out your crew, feel free to do so. We want to send y'all some love. Now, I get to bring to you another incredible leader of our movement, another incredible speaker who is going to talk to us about how you can get involved in your own community. I get to introduce to some and bring back to others the incredible Jennifer Wells, the Director of Care Economy at Community Change. Jennifer, I will toss it to you.
Thank you so much, Ash. Excited to be here tonight. And I am coming to talk both about interconnectedness, local power building, and how we continue to build a movement that will shift and transform our world. And specifically, I'm going to lean into Medicaid today. I'm Jennifer Wells. I come to you from Community Change. I'm the Director of Care Economy there. And one thing that we at Community Change are in the business of, it is building a movement that is powerful and that is going to abolish poverty. And one thing that I am clear on in this country, if you lack funds, you're probably going to be sicker. And if by chance you happen to get sick, you will definitely have your pockets depleted in this country. And so I'm standing with y'all tall and in solidarity as we say, get your hands off our Medicaid. And I'm coming to you as somebody who is personally impacted by Medicaid. Medicaid saved my mom's life in the early 90s when she had a brain aneurysm. Medicaid provided the cancer treatment to my aunt as she was battling a terminal ovarian cancer. So I personally know how important it is. And I know that as Congress has sat down and stated they are going to take $880 billion out of that program and force cruel and vile choices, decisions are going to be made, people will go untreated, and people will die if these cuts happen. But what I know by what you all did in solidarity and connected on April 5th was you're saying you're not going to allow that to happen. And we know that. And we're excited about that. And I want to also speak to the solidarity and the power that was shown in that day. It shook the ground underneath the people that are trying to make these decisions. They understand there are political consequences to the decisions they are putting in front of us, and you are bringing that home to them. Let that be very clear. But I also want us to be careful, because as they backpedal and they double speak and they try to attempt to cover their ground, right? Oh, I'm not going to cut Medicaid. What they're actually going to do is try to pit us against each other, and we cannot fall for it. They are pitting who is deserving of care. They are saying, is it seniors? Is it kids? Is it people living with disabilities? Is it veterans? Is it kids in foster care? Is it that single mom struggling in New Orleans with 2 kids? Or is it a single man that just wants to go and see a doctor? And here's what we all know on this call. We all deserve care. Every last one of us deserves it, and we deserve the best care. We're going to defend what we have now, and we're going to fight for what we need in the future. Medicaid cuts impact us all. All of our healthcare costs are going to go up if these cuts go through. Our hospitals are already closing, and more will soon close, and our doctors will move out of the way. Another personal story of mine. My own primary care doctor has left the building because they cannot afford to practice in my town. This will happen to more of us. It will impact us whether we are on Medicaid or we are not. So we have to fight together. So don't let them attempt to divide us. We are all deserving. And as we stand, and these stories of health are personal. I just told mine. Organizing is personal. How I got into this movement was because I was organizing in my own neighborhood to stop some bullshit that was about to go down. I was able to organize my neighbors. We came together, we stood together, we fought back, we built our power, and we were heard. And that is how it's going to happen with you all. As we continue to move this movement, right? As we build it brick by brick, person by person, it is going to be who you call in with you, who you hold on a consistent basis, and get connected to your community. If you are not already, I know most of the folks on this call are, but get connected to organization, connected to neighborhood, and stay together, strategize, conversate, knock doors, talk to each other, right? The more that we talk to each other, the harder it will be for them to separate us. And so I'm going to play in our call to action now from Community Change, because across states, we are building what we call our Medicaid union. Now, it's not a traditional union, but we use that word intentionally because we are talking about collective action and solidarity. We are bringing together the people most impacted by the healthcare system, and that is Medicaid enrollees, caregivers, and our allies. Because again, any cut to that system and that program is impactful for us all. And so there's going to be a link dropped that I would hope you will click on, you will join, you will share with your friends, you will share with your family, you will share with your neighbors. Because how we're going to build a movement powerful enough to stop what they are trying to pass is it's going to take all of us. And so I welcome you into this movement with me as we are interconnected. I may be in Montgomery, Alabama, and no Medicaid expansion exists here. But with y'all fighting wherever you are, I have a greater chance of receiving this. My family has a greater chance of receiving this. And I can't be more proud, more excited to be in this fight with you all. I thank you, and I'll send it back to you, Ash.
Jennifer, the Southern Freedom Movement is proud of your effort, friend. Thank you so much for the life-saving work that you and Community Change is doing in this season. We're grateful for you. I want to remind you that you can check out the incredible work and get involved in this Medicaid union fight by clicking the link that's been dropped in the chat, communitychangeaction.org/Medicaid union. And for folks that are still not seeing links because the chat is moving so fast, it's all good. This call is always going to be recorded. You're always going to get access to it. And we're going to send you a list of the links to the calls to action after this. But again, you can go to communitychangeaction.org/Medicaid union. Second thing I want to remind you, Danny talked about the recess actions. You can go to indivisible.org/Musk or us. That link has also been dropped in the chat, and you will get it with the recording after this call. So there are four links that you should have access to by now. You should have the access to the CASA petition. You should have access to maydaystrong.org. I'm going to come back to that one in a moment. You have that link to the recess actions, indivisible.org/Musk or us. And then you have access to the link that Jennifer just mentioned, that's communitychangeaction.org/Medicaid union. Literally, this work will save millions of people's lives, y'all. I need you to support it. I need you to amplify it. I need you to share it around. I need you to sign up for it. Y'all, I just got an update that we are now at 145 Mayday strong actions. I need 5 more before the end of this call, and we are at the last speaker. Y'all know how we do on these mass calls. It wouldn't be a mass call if we didn't get a good word, a movement gospel, some good news, some meaning making, some real talk from the leader of Working Families, the national director of the Working Families Party, who's going to recap some of our calls to action, talk about what's at stake right now, and give us a good word for our continued work together. I'm so proud to bring up my friend and my brother, Maurice Mitchell, to give a good word to the people. Talk to us, Mo.
Thank you so much, Ash. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your voice. Thanks. I want to thank Rana, my sister and friend and leader. I want to thank Catherine, Danny, Jesse, Jennifer, and I want to thank you all. I want to thank everybody that's listening right now. And I think it's so important in moments like this. We're weeks into this new administration. And they telegraphed what they would do. They said that they were going to, quote unquote, flood the zone. And we chose at Working Families Party to take them literally and seriously. And we did. We understood that what they wanted to do was to disorganize us, to frustrate us, and to cause so much havoc that we wouldn't know up from down. But what they ended up doing was uniting us. Because when you flood the zone, you hit so many people. You're not just hitting people in big cities, you're hitting people in suburbs, you're hitting people in rural areas. You're not just hitting people in blue states, you're hitting people in red states. You're not just hitting immigrants, you're also hitting folks who were born here. You're not just hitting Black folks and Latino folks and Asian folks and Native folks, you're hitting white folks too. You're not just hitting LGBTQ folks, you're hitting straight folks, you're hitting families, you're hitting communities. And as a result, we rose up in huge numbers, historic numbers. And, you know, those opportunities aren't just events, they're moments to stay in motion and to take action. This is an organizing call. which means we have very specific actions for everybody to take. And I want to make sure that everybody's clear about their assignment. This is a moment where we all need our assignments. This is a historical moment where actual fascists, authoritarians, the very worst of the worst, have taken government power and are using it for cruelty. And what we know, history has told us that the way that we fight fascists is by coming together and by taking action. So I want to repeat, sign up to join or host a Mayday action. Do it now. Don't delay. Also, there are recess actions. There are recess actions that we at Working Families Power and Indivisible are organizing. So hit the phones with Working Families Power, get involved in the recess actions from Indivisible. And then also join the Medicaid Union. And lastly, text the word hands off to 70303. And I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that all of us are being tested in different ways. We're being tested. And moments like this will reveal the very best of us, as well as the very worst in our society. We on this call are the very best of us. These tests are coming to institutions. These tests are coming to individuals. Right now, we've seen the horrifying abductions of Kilmar Garcia, of Mahmoud Khalil. And they're hoping that because we may not be immigrants, that we'll turn a blind eye, right? And I want to evoke the Lutheran pastor, Martin Niermal, right? First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak up because I was not a socialist. But ultimately, we know where that leads. Eventually, they'll come for us, and there'll be nobody to protest. So this is the time for us to understand our historic duty and to fight every single inch in order to make sure that we build the largest, broadest movement possible. And that has to be translated into action. Remember, public courage is contagious. So let that positive contagion go everywhere. Go into our communities, into our families, into our small towns, into our cities, through taking that public action. So once again, you have a partner and a friend and a political party that's willing to fight in the Working Families Party. You have a partner and a friend with me and our thousands of members and grassroots activists, organizers, and candidates. Take action, text hands off to 70303. Thank you. God bless. Let's get to the victory that we all need and deserve.
If you're not a dues paying member of the Working Families Party, what are you waiting for? Come on in the room. Y'all give it up one time for Maurice Mitchell and the Working Families Power team. I want you to know that we are currently at 148 actions for Mayday. 148 actions, y'all. I'm about to close this call down in the next 2 minutes. So I'm going to ask that two of you go on and step up into your rightful place in this movement. Come on and commit your community to showing up and showing out on May 1st with workers and immigrants and people of goodwill all across this country, all across the planet, who are coming together across our differences to say enough is enough. Not only is enough enough, but that we are committed to building the healthy, just, and equitable communities that we've always deserved. I want to give you another moment to get us to 150 before the end of this call. Y'all, I want you to take a moment while you're signing up to thank Rana and the Move On team, to thank Catherine and Casa. I want you to thank Danny and the Indivisible fam, Jesse and CTU. Shout out to the Chicago Teachers Union. Jennifer and the family from Community Chains, and Maurice Mitchell, the national director of the Working Families Party, and all of our Working Family Power team, all the volunteers. I want to shout out ACT TV and Free Speech TV, who have made this available to us to be in a sacred virtual space together while literally calling in from all over this country and sometimes the world. Thank you all for doing it. For every comm staffer, every logistical genius, thank you so much for making this call possible. And last but certainly not least, thanks to every single one of you who, again, did not regard it robbery to come and build community with us. I want to remind you of our calls to action. You already heard Mo break it down. I need you not only to text hands off to 70303. I need you to encourage 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 other people to also come get down with this movement. Know that the way that we can send you the bat signal that it's time for us to activate is by texting this word to this number. So I need you to text hands off to 70303, and I need you to spread the word that you need others to do it as well. I need you to go to the maydaystrong.org website. I want to let you know we have broken 150 actions. We're at 153. You all did it. I want you to go to Mayday Strong. I want you to keep going to Mayday Strong. I want you to organize and commit to getting people educated and agitated and mobilized in the streets with us on Mayday. I want you to commit to going to indivisible.org/Musk or us and signing up to actually confront some of these folks who are at home from Congress right now doing these recess actions. I want you to join and be a proud member of the Medicaid Union. You can go to communitychangeaction.org/Medicaid Union to get more information about how to do that. You can get involved nationally and you can get involved locally. We actually need folks to rise up and do both. It's going to require that of us in this season. Y'all, as we close, we've come to the end of yet another mass call. And I want to thank every single one of you all for being here tonight. Very literally, you all are I know I've said this before on the mass calls, but it continues to be true. You are the ones that give me hope and strength in these times of great challenge, of lots of grief and fear and anxiety. You all remind me that there is good in this world and that the people united, fighting the good fight strategically, doing meaningful work where all of us can be included is actually so much stronger than any of the hate and evil that's being spewed from these principalities in high places. We know that we're going into a hard period, that this has been hard. Yeah, we've lived hundreds of years in the last 4 months. I know it's a hard time. I know our people are suffering. And we also know that the window for Trump to inflict this damage is actually very short if we do our work. If we do what we are supposed to do, what we are responsible for doing in this season, we can put an end to it once and for all. Our goal has to be to organize now so that in 2026, we have new checks on his power. And in the meantime, we force the contradictions inside his own coalition to break them wide open. They're trying to intimidate you right now. They're trying to intimidate us right now. They're trying to move fast. That's because they know how weak their position is, good people. They're not doing that because they're winners. They're doing it because they know if they don't do it quick, they won't get it at all. They know how weak their position is and how short this window will be open for them. They're trying to take advantage of it. So let's not just wallow in despair. Let's feel our feelings. Let's be there for one another. Let's practice the work of solidarity, not just the values of it. We can feel our feelings and still keep putting one movement, one faithful next step in front of the other on this freedom march that we are on. Good people, we have so much incredible life-saving work to do together. And if the speakers that you just heard from are not giving up, then we sure as hell should not be giving up either. I want to thank each and every one of you for the commitments that you made tonight to do meaningful work tonight and onward until victory is won, until all of us are free. I want to praise you for what you're doing out there. I want to encourage you to stay tuned for more by texting hands off to 70303. We love you. We'll see you in the streets. And until then, peace and good night, good people.